Okay, so it's really windy out here, but it's not like cold. You gauge this idea of where you're going and what you're gonna need to bring with you. Your personals, like you guide with where you're gonna know what you're getting into. My current, like, it's okay. It's a lot harder than I thought. It's a lot harder than I thought this was gonna be. Okay. We are gonna start with a little fit check. I got dressed up for you. I'm feeling the tights, the boots, all the things. You know, I'm just gonna get right into it because I'm literally running out of daylight. This hasn't been easy. This living life on such a whimsical pace, to be prepared for everything, anything, yet nothing, all at the same time. Consider a time you were getting ready to move away to college, pack for a trip. You gauge this idea of where you're going, what you're going to take with you, what you're gonna need. The personal can't live withouts to the actual necessities. You lean into this intentional plan that's going to make you feel the most comfortable in your next chapter. A satisfying feeling it is to be prepared. Know what it is that you're getting yourself into, but my current situation is actually quite the opposite. A few months ago, as I was coming to the end of my apartment lease, my ambitious imagination put me on a particular path that many of you might find bonkers. Since moving out of my parents' home, I've lived in rent houses, apartments, by myself, with roommates, and over time accumulating possessions of all variety to effectively live a functional lifestyle. As a traditional American, keeping more than what anyone ever really needs, a borderline hoarder if you will, just not the dirty, gross kind. This was weight. Like, I had moved 5 times in under 4 years of living in Galveston, Texas. Every time shedding some weight, but still overwhelmed at the idea of carrying so much in my life. Especially as I craved the idea of possessing less. This was a goal every year on my vision boards, along with other things that were slightly ignored. Why did this one thing really bother me the most? Essentially, I threw a sell-it-all party to rehome all my belongings. Everything. Furniture, dishes, home decor, my fabulous Savage and Fenty collection, beach cruiser, everything. With full awareness that the amount spent will never be fully recovered, I couldn't bear another chapter of my life to carry this hold on me. Looking at this step as a practice to let go of all the things that once brought me joy, held sentimental memory, or assisted in the hobbies that once were a part of my identity, I set myself free. What a process it was to believe in. No matter how many times I shared my upcoming intention, it wasn't feeling real yet. When I started opening my eyes were the moments my friends and community of Galveston shuffled in and out of my home, picking through my things, taking on new to them goodies, learning more about me and the space I kept. It was still a process. One that had me emotional and awfully nervous about what it was I was committing to. Trust in the process, right? With every process, there must be something to look forward to, a reward, a plan, a goal, some sort. At this particular point, the only plans that were on the table were 1, sell it all, 2, exit my job, 3, move out of the apartment in Galveston, Texas, and 4, commit to the next adventure of unemployment, homelessness, and solo traveling girly pop. Trust in the process? Now, the biggest questions are, how could you possibly afford this? Assess the scene. Where do you spend your money? Is it within your means, or are you balling big on that fancy car payment? In regards to myself, 2022 was my year of getting serious about my debt. With this goal in mind, I looked deeper into my own priorities, referring to my transactions. Reality check it was. It was atrocious how much money I spent on Starbucks, Amazon, and supporting Rihanna. Dreaming of a traveling lifestyle, how could I ensure that this would be possible if I didn't tighten up my spending habits? The day I sat down and added up all these numbers was the day it got real for me. Creating a budget, I still found space to enjoy the little things. It's not like you can't ever go out to eat with your friends again or buy that round of shots for the crew. It's just staying mindful of what you can actually afford, with real numbers to keep in mind. The year of 2022 taught me financial priority and then influenced my travels of 2023. Beginning the year with a trip to California, flying into San Francisco, out of San Diego, I completed a successful road trip from top to bottom across the state. Then sliding in a quick little girls trip to Lake Charles to visit the Golden Nugget. Sliding in that trip before the busy working summer months. After surviving the Texas heat, I planned my first official, spontaneous, solo traveling experience to the place I know now holds a piece of me, the wonderful island of Puerto Rico. Ooh, it's getting a little chilly now. What I wasn't prepared for was the fact that I would become obsessed, feeling like a pro, finding the deals to keep my experiences inexpensive. I really was most caught up with being in the moment, meeting new people, eating delicious foods, and having a freaking blast. So 2024, your girl doubled down, going solo back to Puerto Rico at the end of February through March, just before trekking through another scorching busy summer. Once on the other side, the month of September was the girly travel month. I had the privilege of tagging along on a bachelorette trip to Costa Rica with some of the best energied ladies, staying in Tamarindo. We ran the town unattended, making many memories that I will keep for those involved. Following up that trip, I planned my third visit to Puerto Rico, but this time taking a gal pal, sharing the places that I loved the most about this incredible island. All of this wild running felt like the final hoorah to what would soon be my final moments to the life I always knew of structured stability, balanced repetitions, and expected day-to-days working full-time in Galveston. Taking us back to where I flipped the script in October to choose a new adventure, budgeting out the next several months with what I had saved, I'm currently writing out this crazy chapter. With no real plans, I'm living in a phase that I believe is much more achievable to any of you. It's all in the mindset or even the delusion. How are we looking on this? Let's take a little peek. Okay, eyes are on the iPad, eyes on the camera, eyes are on the iPad, eyes are on the camera. Why can't I book a trip to Europe, pack my backpack, and jump on a plane with no real itinerary? Have my places booked in advance? Buy rail passes or museum tickets ahead of time? The planner and experience coordinator in me says yes. Know all the details, keep up with the schedule of where you're supposed to be, and be sure to leave room to squeeze in a nap. Well, what has been the hardest lesson for me to learn in life is some things come at you unplanned, and it's likely most things are just out of your control. So here we are with the new challenge to set myself up for the unexpected. Okay, we're getting cold. I proceeded to move forward and take that 3-week solo backpacking trip to the Netherlands, through Belgium and France, not only trusting in the process, but yet again believing in myself. I got this! I got this. No one should be surprised that I only wanted to go right back once I had returned to the States, but I did need to renew my passport. This also gave me the opportunity to consider my free time. 2019 was my year flight attending, and throughout that period I'd made connections all over the States and people who are still significant in my life today. There's also friends and family across the States that I would have been thrilled to share some time with, so what did I do? I took a road trip. As much as I love taking flights, long car rides are also my jam. Driving across my home state of Texas, playing a role of tourist and tour guide, before pausing to spend the Thanksgiving holiday with my family. After this stop, I committed to driving 3,200 miles on my own across the eastern states as far as New York City. This was an exciting trip because the people that I was visiting. So as most of you understand, I have been living out of my car, but I did in fact have a bed to sleep in every night on this trip. Beautiful. Seriously, so grateful. Beyond this trip, I spent my birthday and Christmas with my family before cruising back down to the south to ring in the new year and focus on my next vendor. Something about Galveston really does clear my mind. With at least 3 more months of living at my own beat, I'm still not certain where I'm going to end up by the end of all this. But what I do know is that I'm trusting this and leaning into it with an open mind. So where am I going next? If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I'm going back to Europe at the end of the month. I cannot wait to tell you more. However, I have spent plenty of time talking on this and, as we see, running out of daylight. So if you've made it this far, thank you for taking the time to hear about this story and supporting me in a new experience. I've wanted to so long share this part of my life, but I haven't really found a method that's worked for me. My relationship with social media is so wishy-washy because just like sobriety breaks, a social detox is something that I do thrive in. However, there's a lot to unpack in this life that I've experienced and created for myself, and there's something about it that I believe could possibly help others lean into their own dreams. We choose every day the life that we want to live, so why not live your truth? Just want to share my situation here. Look how pretty it is over here. Filming at Evia. I've just been having to get used to filming publicly because the whole time I've been here there's been plenty of people walking their dogs. It was actually really sad. I saw a little old man fall. Hated that. What do you do? What do? I didn't film him, that's for sure. So I'll see you next time. I'm hoping to get better at this, and even if I don't, I'm still gonna keep trying. Bye.